people say, for instance, this is an African problem, let's leave it to them, they are being dishonest.
Nigeria was a creation of British colonialism. At the turn of the century, Britain carved out the richest area in West Africa, lumped together 250 tribes, each with its own culture, its own history, and arbitrarily called these people Nigerians. Of those tribes, 3 were dominant. The Hausas, most numerous, Muslims in the north. Medieval, lagging behind the others in education and commerce. The Yorubas in the west, animists and Christians, the first educated. And the Igbos in the east, where Christianity is now strongest.
Fighting a just cause, we believe God will help us. And as a result, whatever that comes out of God's will, we take.
Including defeat if it comes?
No, we can't. I don't think God will allow us to be defeated.
Do religious differences between Christian and Muslim play a very big part in this dispute, you think?
Not among the ordinary people, you see, who are doing, who are fighting now. But I suppose right at the very back among the leaders.
Yeah. We're fighting our own brothers, our own friends, our own probably colleagues that in fact we were trained together. Now, I accept them as my people. I don't call them enemies.
That boy calls your father. Do not bear a hand in his death.
They're not my enemies.
Some say the Igbos were the most backward, but in the last quarter century, with the aid of European missionary education, the Igbo overtook the others and became the most powerful economic group of all.
Anything you do for this land, now God do we know, now God do we know. Omeni fe answer your call. Omeni fe wa mama, that's all more go dogu. Ijoba here because go tell them akwala no okwaya kasama sawanje. Ayaya sawanje le wa chuku kalo. Omeni fe wa mama ogago le sawanje. Ladies and gentlemen, I get water. Since the morning, I never talk, I never drink, I never smoke.
Many Africans have risen to distinction and today occupy important posts.
Additionally, Igbo merchants and civil servants all over Nigeria began showing a newfound arrogance and sense of superiority, building a resentment that culminated in a wave of terror against the Igbo.
Niwi in Anambra State has more billionaires per capita than anywhere else in Nigeria, according to Forbes.
I started by trading on motorcycle spare parts. After motorcycle spare parts, I start on assembling of motorcycle.
According to the Chief Executive Officer of Innocent Motors, the plant is designed to achieve the coupling of a whole vehicle in 4 minutes.
I'm the first indigenous motorcycle assembling plant in Nigeria.
Anything you do for this land, now God do we know, now God do we know. Omeni fe answer your call. Omeni fe wa mama, that's all more go dogu. Ijoba here because go tell them akwala no okwaya kasama sawanje. Ayaya sawanje le wa chuku kalo. Omeni fe wa mama ogago le sawanje. Ladies and gentlemen, I get water. Since the morning, I never talk.
Estimates of the number of Igbo massacred in northern Nigeria range from 7,000 to 30,000. Surviving Igbos abandoned their homes and businesses. Millions of them fled to the Igbo heartland in the east. There, led by the charismatic OGENE.
Fight on, brave boys, fight on. Heroes of our fatherland, pursue the enemy, harass him.
They seceded, proclaiming Biafra an independent nation.
The Nigerians have given some cause for the fear of massacre by bombing marketplaces like Kumaya, where scores of civilians were killed.
The world has been shocked that an enterprising people like the Igbo have been tongue-tied and emasculated, that they have allowed tyrants to blindfold and hoodwink them, so that in a war alleged to be fought for their survival, more than 1.5 million children had died of starvation and disease.
This region of Nigeria has long been the world's major source of palm oil. The
The first recorded shipment of oil of palm was in 1588.
The overriding reason the major powers focus on this country's conflict is Nigerian oil. Already, they are the 12th largest producer in the world. Conceivably, they will eventually become 5th or 6th. The British produce most of it, a United States company, Gulf, the rest. It is Nigerian oil, much of it under territory that Biafra claims, that is said to trigger France's last-ditch aid to Biafra.
But these bullets and mortars are French, and it seems now that the French will withdraw their support from the Biafran cause. If Biafra is going to fight on, then its troops will have to rely even more heavily on British or Russian arms captured from the federal Nigerian forces.
I have no idea which direction to go. My hometown is behind the enemy line now. I have nowhere to go.
The so-called rising sun of Biafra is set forever. It will be a great disservice for anyone to continue to use the word Biafra to refer to any part of the east central state of Nigeria.
Do not bear a hand in his death.
Most of the planes are flown by Egyptians, who are characterized as wary of anti-aircraft fire, therefore less than enthusiastic about going after military targets. That, it is suggested, is one cause of the high civilian casualties in the air raids on Biafra.
Eastern Nigerians utilize tribal and family groups to form trading firms and for purposes other than those for which they were originally intended.
The challenge in Nigeria is to Britons and Africans alike. Both want Nigeria to grow into an independent nation within the British Commonwealth. What are the obstacles? Disunity, poverty, die-hard tradition, ignorance. How fast can they be overcome? How soon can Nigeria become a free nation?
Some of the things that were causing disruption in Nigeria,
yes,
in Africa as a whole, things falling apart, as you wrote about yourself.
Yes.
Did you have any premonition, any thought that things would fall apart this much at that time?
No, not this much. No, nothing like this.